Yes, we are live now. So, hey
Hmm.
folks, this is me, Vishwas, and I'm the host of this DevOps chat show. A lot of times, you know what? I think Prodman is a role which has been overlooked every time. I see somebody who's evolving in a market, they have the guidance from a Prodman, like product managers, engineering managers. I think it's not managerial role, it's basically you're handling people in the same old SDLC lifecycle and whatever you think about. So, in a meanwhile, I felt okay. I met somebody in Decrypt conference and I told to myself, you know what? There's somebody who is reading book in the conference and I need to interview them. And I'm like, okay, we are also doing a webinar as well, so don't worry about that. She will be back on the virtual platform. So I thought, okay, let's learn something new. And there is a set of questions which are planned today in order to give you that right understanding of what is an impact that a Prodman can build on any infrastructure. So don't worry about that. So, Imam, thank you so much for being on the show. Means a lot.
My pleasure, Vishwas. But first of all, to begin with, I'll have to apologize for all the, uh, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
chaos going on my side. Thanks to our Karnataka Electricity Board, now called as BESCOM in Bangalore. I'm having a power cut, and having UPS in just one room also sometimes is a super difficult thing. It leads to fights at home as well, just
Yeah,
similar to how the boardroom fights will be there in our office. We'll experience the same at home. So there has been a tug and a tussle as to who's going to occupy the room with the UPS. So I tossed and I won, and now I'm here with you.
yeah. This is more important than anything, so don't worry about that.
Right.
So let's just talk about your experience in different sectors. You have seen different places. You have also seen different ways in which industry is evolving towards. So, what is your experience in different sectors in the industry, and also what really changed over the course of time?
Okay. So this is quite a question for me because it tends to get me totally nostalgic because the kind of question that you're asking right now has to go back to the day when I started my IT career. Okay. Because see, I have seen the length and breadth of service based industry in IT. It's a whole new world altogether. I mean, it's a different world compared to vis-a-vis product based in space. Okay, so sitting in my capacity as a service based company employee, I have also had the good fortune of experiencing actual product management company locations in India, in US, in India, of course, multi cities. So we have this cultural thing going on, right? Every 300 kilometers we have a different culture altogether which we can experience. So I'm somebody who has worked across states within India itself. So you can understand the kind of culture that I have looked at. I mean, multiple amalgamation of cultures I've experienced and been exposed to. So that's the best part about the learning aspect outside of the professional world. Now coming to the inside, in service based, the biggest advantage you get is you will work across multiple domains. When I say domains, it's not restricted to just technology alone. Take my example. I have worked in something as diverse as from healthcare. I suddenly jump into networking. Then I'm into media space. Then I'm into something related to e-commerce, transportation. Okay, pharmaceutical. I already mentioned. Again, within healthcare, you have hospitalization. That is hospital management related aspects, so on and so forth. So the applications being exposed to, the domains being exposed to are so diverse. In every project, which we would call in our technical terms, professional terms, as accounts, you get to learn something new always, whether it is tool or domain or the kind of people, the work culture, everything differs. So I have had the best of both worlds is what I can say. Because see, through my experience itself, I had the good fortune of seeing something happening in China, how the workforce in China works. Similarly, I had an exposure of US, how US culture is, how we tend to work over there compared to how we do it in India, whether in Bangalore or Pune or elsewhere. So I think I pretty much dragged you into a lot of things within this question. I would simply put it in one line that you will have, if you're having good ears and the large-heartedness to learn, aspire to learn, aspire to be part of culture, technology. and so on and so forth. It's a very good start for you to be within a service based company. Not just start, for that matter, in any part of your career, at any point in your career, you can just get into service based if you think that maybe let me get exposed to something new, multiverse altogether. So that has been my experience. Vishwas, are you there? Vishwas, can you hear me? Okay. Looks like Vishwas. I'm WhatsApping Vishwas here, as you guys can see. I mean, whoever is watching me, he seems to be stuck. But let's continue on this. So, I was just giving you an overview about what has been my experience so far. So, uh, when it comes to compared to product-based company, lots of travels or travel opportunities. A chance to get exposed to something new culture wise, people wise, everything for that matter. That's the advantage you will get in a service based company, is what I have seen. But I may be wrong, because yeah, depending on the need of that particular moment in a project, even product based companies also do have opportunities, to cater to the aspirations of their employees when it comes to upward mobility, in specific international mobility. So yeah, that's been a good exposure for me, and I'm really grateful to the kind of associations I've had so far in my career. uh, that's given me a lot of opportunities to learn, is what I felt. Yeah. So yes, on the professional front, I've had the opportunity to don many hats, starting from a very junior developer to getting into the nitty gritties of the QA, that is quality assurance testing space, leading teams there, managing teams, and so on and so forth, and understanding various project management aspects, program management aspects, and many things. I mean, you just name it, you get the exposure. So that's how it has been. There, Vishwas is back again. So, Vishwas, I was just picking brains here of the listeners who are online listening to me. Um, Now I think they are getting a glimpse of what's in store for them, as to how much of a pain I can be when it comes to if I start talking.
Sure, ma'am. Let's. Sorry for it. I think let's leave this. I don't know why all of a sudden my laptop got stuck. It's like, okay, fine. It's just a part and parcel of the
Yep.
digital world that I just wanted to be in. So let's start it. So,
Mhm.
what do you think is an impact that a Prodman can bring in the SDLC?
Okay. So, when it comes to Prodman, I mean, that's an amazing term, right? We are seeing Superman, Batman, whatnot man. Why not Prodman? Isn't it? In the professional space in IT world, we should have something like this, a superhero. So Prodman is basically your superhero, product manager. If you actually, surf through the internet, I mean, yeah, I'm pointing out internet mainly because I'm a person. I'm this proverbial '90s kid who has seen the other side of before internet and after internet phases. So I'll be able to talk about it much better compared to many of the millennials here, right? I'm assuming that millennial crowd is there as part of this particular interaction that we are having. So yeah, Prodman, if you see online, it is mostly defined as somebody who comes in the intersection of technology, user experience, and you know everything related to business needs as well. So he's somebody who would be he or she, I'm just using the generic term of he here, pronoun. Somebody who is really articulate and uh, is able to understand the needs of business, how the market looks like, what's the kind of the look and feel of the product that we need to finally deliver to the markets. And yeah, somebody who is articulate, like I mentioned earlier, because communication is a very vital product a product skill which a product manager should have. And that will actually keep him in good stride with all the involved stakeholders, because he is not restricted to communicating to just his own team. We are talking about much bigger stakes in involvement here when it comes to the market research team, or your consumers straight in the market. When you are looking into the market insights, you will be looking at various products which are already in the market. And your own team, multiple teams, the involving stakeholders, it can be other vendor teams as well. You're talking to a lot of people here. So you're not at the very microscopic level. You're not handling day to day activities as a prod man here, right? You are looking at a much bigger scope. It's like this bird's eye view, what you are supposed to do as part of your role. So that's what is expected of you. You need to be a jack of all trades, which I mean, that's a phrase which I love to use when it comes to product management. So jack of all trades always fits in the bill, because you need to have these immense communicative skills, which also involves a hint of diplomacy also wherever involved, right? I'll explain more about this when we actually have our formal talk. I mean, I'll try to keep it short here, so that there is some element of surprise, some element of secrecy involved in the talk which I'll be giving later, right? So this will be more of a what do you call, just a teaser, a trailer for what you can expect. I hope to do justice for the kind of time that you guys are giving me in this opportunity. So let's keep it simple as of now, short and simple to start with. Vishwas, over to you. I think we lost him again. Yeah. So yeah, while he is coming back, I'll just put some more hints, maybe, just to ensure that I'm not covering everything, but still try to add in some more until the time Vishwas comes back. So yeah, you name the aspect of SDLC, your software development lifecycle, the step involved, you will find Prodman's presence there. He is omnipresent all through the SDLC, right? So right from conception phase, wherein you're discovering, you're planning your requirements, and you know going into design, then actual production, prior to that testing, of course, everything you name it, and the presence of Prodman is vital. It's never to be mistaken for a product owner. Yeah, both are having their own okay, sorry about that, that was the power disruption again. So there are very distinct differences between a prod man and a PO, product owner. I'm sorry about that, that's my daughter. So never mistake these two roles. They tend to work parallelly quite a lot, but only at certain phases. After that, there is not much of a interaction between the two. Uh, But Prodman, like I said, he's there in every step of the SDLC. Yeah, from start to finish. Okay, there you are, back again, Vishwas.
I don't know what's happening with my laptop today, but my streams are going very bad. I don't know, the StreamYard is so heavy. So let's continue with the question of
Right.
how do you handle a security chaos? Like, how do you really take care about the security chaos in the real world?
Okay. You have two things here, right, in your term, security and chaos. Both should never go hand in hand. But look at the beauty of the professional world, or irony, I should be saying, security chaos. I mean, security is such a vital aspect, isn't it? And you cannot afford to have it in a chaotic situation, right? So when you're building a product, you need to ensure that you are having security from the day one, right? You need to know what kind of security your product needs, right from accessing the system through a simple email address login, or a unique id, how you want to factor the user into the system to access it, to to look into the broader aspects of what is the product all about. To use the product, you need security features in place. So security chaos handling has to be from day one. You need to anticipate something prior, even before the customer can actually look into it. That's the expectation that any any person or a team involved in developing a product should be having. It's like having that that mindset about hey, this is my baby, I need to take care of it, come what may, right? So that's exactly which needs to be your goal. So ensure that you're having proper authentication checks in place, the kind of firewalls, of how do you want your users to access the system, whether your system is what kind of users you are actually targeting, what is the kind of domain that the product is getting used into, what are the multiple layers of security you need to have into your system. Everything will play a crucial role here. So handling security chaos has to be in a very distinct, strict, but a super organized manner. That's what I would like to say. So it's it's never like it is going to be an easy affair, but it's not tough either if you have planned it in advance in a meticulous way right from the word go. Security is never a problem, right? So in short, you need to be smarter than the hacker, right? So hacker would love to break and destroy your offering, right? You would never give your baby to unidentified people, right?
Hmm.
You cannot trust anyone here. So
So zero trust.
be on the guard, yeah. And let me add a human aspect here. Coming from a topic, an answer to this particular topic, security chaos, coming from a lady, I think we explain it better, being moms ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no bias to my men folk here, but this is how I would like to put it, right?
Yeah. But like, how is the decision during the incident management taken care here? Because everything is an everything is going down at all of a sudden, and Prodman is somebody who architected and ideated that phase, but sometimes we are at stake. So what happens during the incidents management? Security and chaos is amazing. That's solving a huge problem, but how is incidents management taken care here?
See, I added one line here when I started talking about security chaos. I said, try to gauge the threat. I would have used different words. I'm just reiterating what I said with different words, thanks to English language. Try to be the first one to gauge the threat, even before the customer does it, right? And report it. So you know how the incident management life cycle is, right? You will observe an incident, report it, diagnose it, try to find a resolution for it, then fix it. Once you have found the resolution, fix it, then push it back into the system where it belongs. I mean to say, get the system up and running, and finally you will do the analysis of what exactly went wrong. I mean, this will be more of a lesson to learn for you, so that you will understand, you as an individual, as a team, you will understand as to how to handle such a situation when, if at all it is a recurring one, maybe sometime in future if it comes. So be the first one to always analyze, identify a threat even before the customer does, so that it will give little bit of an image saving exercise is involved here. Because see, nobody wants to see a customer when you are red faced, right? You will be at the receiving end, isn't it? So be the first one to identify the threat, and then
All right. So wait, there's no voice from. Okay. So if you ask me what's my take on the entire engineering aspect, it's changing the way we even think technology. So wait. So I think she's joining again. I think probably she also has a system error, probably like mine. But once you ask me where incidents management has an impact, it's there when we start the diagnosis of and software infrastructure that we are just dumping on and what do you call an asset that we are just calling it as a hardware. So it's connected to an IP, and we know that anybody can grab on that IP and they can just go ahead with all the things that is related to the presence in the market. And in a meanwhile, it's
Sorry
it's
about
that
that. I don't know
stringent
why I
definition.
lost. I don't know
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I lost. Yeah. So I hope everyone was able to listen, because after I stopped
No,
talking,
no,
that's
yeah,
when
I think some of
yeah,
the things were got missed. You can continue if you want. Yeah, like you
yeah,
can
sure.
continue that.
So I was let me just repeat what I was talking about. So I was saying that when we consider an incident, even an incident will have its own life cycle, right? You detect an incident, you log it, you try to do your diagnosis, you will try to do the resolution, the fix, and then push it back to where it belongs in how it needs to function in a normal way, and then you'll do your uh, literally you can say root cause analysis, like how we do for bugs. So you will do that and try to ensure that you have these analysis in place, like how did we kind of missed it. If it is customer reported specifically, this will be a lot of intelligent learning for you. How did we even miss it, and what we could have done better to have avoided it, or while we were fixing it, did we take too much time? Of course, every incident will have an SLA, right? So how you would have done it better, those are the aspects you would need to analyze when you're doing your analysis of, or rather you can call it as lessons learned with respect to an incident which has been logged, and then you'll call it as a final closure. Otherwise, just fixing the incident, providing a proper resolution, and getting the system back in place in the normal way, up and running, won't suffice, right? So you need to have your analysis in place, right? So that's how I would like to put. Yeah, Vishwas, back to you again.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. I think because once we know what's the rate at which the chaos is being solved, like MTTR, mean time to recovery, and Dora matrices, right? Dora
Right.
matrices are always there
Mm.
for us. So let's
Right.
talk about the decision which is just happening and being buzzed out everywhere, right? Everybody talks about decision. Hey, you know what? Decision is going to hit us very bad, this and that. So let's talk about it. What's it going to be an impact? And I what a Prodman's view on this. So I'm just listening to you because I'm a fresher who doesn't know anything about what a Prodman does. So what is the impact that decision is going to have on us?
Okay. So first, I'll take the last line which you said. I'm a fresher. I don't know anything. No, I beg to differ here, because you guys are more inquisitive compared to what we are. I mean, we have reached a stage in our career wherein I'll tell you, majority of people who have reached this particular stage will think, okay, we are set for the next 15, 20 years, until the time we want to be part of the workforce. And, you know, the typical pot bellied career professional kind of look sets in, right? I mean, I'm just adding a fun element here. I mean, basically, people tend to get, chalta hai kind of attitude starts developing. That's the wrong way to approach until the time you're in a professional environment. For that matter, I'm somebody who believes in learning never ends. So, have we not seen or heard of recession previously? We have, isn't it? Ask me, I'll tell you more about, once upon a time, what happened when WTC, the Twin Towers, I mean to say, I'm sorry, the Twin Towers in US were brought down. Soon after that, there was one recession also, I remember that, right? I mean, we were just hearing and getting to hear terms. I mean, I was still very very young, I was not into career as such. So I just started hearing when, like, how you guys are hearing it in your college days. You're just out of college, I mean, freshly hatched chickens, that's what I would like to call you guys. So that was my learning. And see, whether recession or no recession, you can ward it off by having this constant urge to learn. Learning never ends. I always reiterate this particular aspect. Just keep yourself always engrossed in some learning something new. Don't be part of a run of a mill exercise as to, okay, come to office, finish your project, then leave. No, no, try to be dynamic always. Being dynamic, having the urge to learn things will always keep you in good stead, right? Recession means basically, first of all, oh, unemployment will rise. Why will unemployment rise if you are somebody who is dynamic? uh, I mean, when I say why will unemployment rise, I'm asking the question as to, why do you have to fear a job loss if you are following rather, I would say, you are checking the following checklist, right? If you are having the inquisitive nature to learn, ready to imbibe something new, embrace something new, whether it is technology or team or anything for that matter. What is the kind of value add you are bringing into the project, into the account, into the customer? What are the innovations, basically, when I say value add, what are the innovations you are bringing into life? How are you handling your day to day aspects? That matters a lot. I mean, it's not about year end appraisal wherein you will say, hey, I did this, I did that. No, no, actions speak louder than words. So don't restrict yourself to the day when you have to have this one on one with your particular manager and say, I did this, I did that. No, 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 no. You are going to hard sell yourself every day, so that you can weather any kind of storm, whether it is a professional aspect like recession coming into picture, or for that matter, suddenly the company decides that, okay, we want to shut shop for this particular product, and you have to see whether you can immediately drop yourself into another team, another product, and work on it from scratch. I mean, as if nothing happened just a moment ago. So that's what is my advice to you. So just don't look into all those broader aspects of macroeconomic terms like recession. Just continue to focus on your work, see how you can grow, continue to learn. Those will always help you, right? So this is what I can tell from my end. Vishwas, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yes,
Don't worry about
yes,
it. I don't
yes.
know why, I think this is how my entire system has been. I think we covered most of the things that we wanted. That's it. So we
Right.
wanted to give
I
a
think
pre.
Vishwas will do one thing. We'll break a coconut before we start our next Sunday's call. We'll break a
Yeah,
coconut the Indian way, pray
yeah.
to Lord Ganesha, and I
Not
think
on my laptop, side of my laptop, not on
yes,
my.
yes,
I don't know what happened today, but yeah, but we were able to get the stream done because I'm a techie guy. I know how to use a phone. I know how to use a laptop. Yes, I was
exactly.
refreshing my laptop every time, and I used to make her go up, and I used to come up. I think I'm very good in handling chaos. Don't worry about it. I'm really very good in handling chaos.
Yep,
I
yep.
think we
Being
learned a
dynamic
lot.
calls for it. Being dynamic always. Yep,
I think that's what leadership, right? Astute leadership,
exactly.
this and that. This is what
Right.
IIMs and IM Bangalore's and
Exactly.
Harvard's
Yeah.
teach you. So don't worry
They will
about it.
teach you on paper in printed form, but what you bring to practice is up to you. That's your personality,
Yes,
right?
that's the personality.
Yeah.
So that's where I wore my lucky watch as well. So nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
So fine, folks. Let's catch up on November 6th. That is like in another 2 days. This was just a pre-event call. Like we wanted to just give an kind of an intro. If you have any queries and questions, reach out to Geetanjali Kali Bhatt. She's on
Kalibhat Vishwas, Kalibhat.
Kali
And
Bhatt. Yes.
that got a story of its own. Maybe
Yeah,
I
yeah.
preserve it for some other day. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be reserved for some other day.
Yeah.
Probably another DevOps chat series where we are just talking
Sure.
about journey or things like that. So let's make sure that we end this broadcast before my
I think we lost him again. He's totally stuck on my screen. Okay. I'm seeing Vishwa something like this. Okay. I hope our Sunday talk would not be having so many hiccups. Hey, come on. We talked about chaos, so let's be positive. We should be handling this for our Sunday thing. Yeah.
Okay, finally I got my laptop, which was there with my sister. So don't worry about it. Next stream, it
Yeah.
will not happen like this because I'll be taking this
No,
laptop.
no. We
We'll
talked
be
about
working on.
chaos, right? Vishwas? We talked about handling chaos right from the word go. So now we can
This is
understand
what
what all
MBS will
the
do. This is what MBS will do. Don't worry about it.
right, right.
So let's just end this broadcast, folks. See you on November 6th so that you will really understand what is the pain points of being a fraud man, and also what is it all about when we are talking about enterprise grade software. And there's a lot being talked there. So see you folks soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Vishwas. Bye.